Welcome back to Blueprint Bootcamp Tournament Edition. Today we're going to be talking about drawing number 8, the key bar. So stay tuned. Alright, welcome back. So today we're going to be talking about drawing number 8, the key bar. We'll jump on over into Onshape and we'll take a look at what we got. There we go. So fairly simple project. If we look at it right away, I see a lot of circles. But we're going to kind of show you how to draw this from a revolve standpoint, okay? If we look down at the bottom at our title, we have our High School Heroes number 8 key bar. It's a tier 2. We need to do this out of 1060 aluminum alloy. And our unit system is going to be millimeters and grams for our weight. So question is, what is the mass of this part in XXX grams with a tolerance of plus or minus 1? So a pretty fairly decent sized tolerance. And if we look over here, pretty much our drawing is, we have this 16 millimeter diameter shaft that is 50 millimeters long. We have another shaft that is, if we look at that drawing, it's 28 millimeters, and that's going to go, we have to do some math here where, you know, it's 120 minus that 50. And if we look, there's a hole that goes through it that's centered on 88 millimeters. That is 9 millimeters through, with a gap, slot gap, that is 45 millimeters wide or long by our total 28 wide. So let's go ahead and jump into Onshape and we will go ahead and get started. All right, first thing we need to do once we jump into Onshape is change our unit. So we'll come up here and change it to workspace units. We're going to change from inches to millimeters and pounds to grams. This is a metric part, and so we will go from there. So we are going to draw this thing in kind of a revolve feature is kind of how I see this doing it best. So we're going to start on the front plane, Shift and S to start a sketch, N to normalize, and P to hide those planes. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to come up here and click our midpoint line, and I am going to start from my origin, press the letter Q, and if we look at our drawing, my overall part is 120 millimeters long. So I'm going to click and 120, enter, and now I can start drawing some stuff, because when you do a revolve feature, you only have to draw half. So a couple of ways to do this is you could do rectangles. So I'm going to kind of do this like so. We'll do a center point or a corner rectangle. We'll shut off our construction, and I'm going to come up like this, and then I'm going to come up to the end of my piece, and then we'll go ahead and do like so to give ourselves some dimensions. So I'm going to say from here to here needs to be 8 because our piece is 16. Now, if I didn't have that bottom one, I could pick my dotted line there. I can kind of show you if I delete these lines. There we go. If I did this, and so like for this one, I know it needs to be 28. So if I were to click here and then click that dotted line and then go over and click, I can change that and make that 28, and that'll work like so. But then we have to draw that line back. So I don't know, whatever you think's fastest for you. Again, remember the whole name of this game is trying to do it as a speed kind of model. So I am going to, next we will draw that line back where it was supposed to be. So we have that like so. So there our dimension is from here to here needs to be 50. From here to here needs to be 66. Our overall, we have our 120. And then from here And to save time, I can just click the single line. That needs to be 45. And that would work itself out. Next thing we need to do is we add this from here. So if we look at the drawing, we'll kind of jump over here really quick. It says 16 right here. Zoom in for you. 16, but that's from the bottom all the way up to the top of there. So we'd have to do some math really quick. 28 minus that 16. I guess we'd do 14 is half of it. So 14 and 14. So it's going to go 2 away from this center line is how we can kind of do that. So if we pop back out and I do my dimension and say, hey, this needs to be 2 millimeters away from that center line. So I have all my dimensions that we need. And now I am going to draw a revolve feature. And I'm going to select everything because I don't want that cutout to fall all the way around. It only does partial way. So we're going to show you how to do that. And the revolve axis I'm going to use is going to be around here. So I have my bar like so. So we'll say OK. And now if I turn my sketch back on, or I can even double click in here, I can click this now and press extrude and then switch that to a remove feature. Go symmetrical and just stretch out far enough to be bigger than the part. And we'll say OK. Now I'm going to select this face and I'm going to draw right there in the middle. I'm going to draw a circle on this line that is 9 millimeters. And just to make sure we're all good, I need to tell that to be 88 away from that back end. I'm going to extrude one more time, remove, change that to through all. And you'll see we have our hole going through like so, and we'll say OK. I'm going to right click and assign material. Again, we said it needs to be the 1060 aluminum alloy. Boom, boom. I'm going to right click or click my piece, click the weight, and I have 110.178 rounded down to 110, which is exactly what our answer is. We have a tolerance of plus or minus 1, so if you got anywhere from 109 to 111, you are on point and you have what you need to have. So that was a pretty simple drawing overall, kind of quick way to get that done. If we take a look here, something I wanted to show, a lot of times in these things, we show 28 here, but we also show it over here. So don't get yourself caught up and getting lost and, getting caught up with the speed, slowing yourself down, essentially trying to be too fast. We go back to this revolve feature, and I know some of you probably wanted to do this. That's what you would have ended up with. And that's not what we want. So pay attention to the order of operations and how you're going to get these things done. Like I said, fairly simple project. Toby's got some really good drawings out there. If you haven't checked out his website yet, go to tootalltoby.com and check out, I think he's at 250, almost 300 drawings now of all these different varying levels. So if you're like, I have no idea where to start, I'm brand new, he's got some stuff for you. If you're like, yeah, that's too easy, this is boring, this stuff that Mesa's doing, way too easy, I need some more challenges, jump on over to his page. He's got all kinds of stuff. There's some drawings that I've done and it's taken me a lot longer to do than it probably should have. But once I figured it out, it's like going to the gym. It's a good workout for you to figure out. So that's going to do it for us. I hope you guys are having a good time learning all kinds of stuff about drafting. I will see you guys next week. Take care. Bye.